Hello, this is Guy Clapperton, Mediamentor, with your Tuesday tip. This week I've been involved in a very interesting discussion on Facebook among a bunch of podcasters. Somebody had someone giving an interview and they'd said things they regretted saying later. So a couple of months later they came back and said, could you take the podcast down, please? The person was in a bit of a dilemma because it was getting good figures. Some people said, well, it's you're just being selfish. These are your figures. This is compared to the person's integrity. Other people who were journalists like me were saying things like, well, they said it. They should know what they were doing. They have no right to tell you to take this down. It's your podcast, your work. It got quite heated. Leaving the emotional stuff aside and leaving aside whether there's any difference between the ethics of a podcaster and the laws that govern journalism and the journalism of record stuff, it's worth bearing in mind that you can't actually unsay something. Even if that person takes the podcast down, it may well be that other people have downloaded it, got copies of it. It's still going to be out there. If they take it down, it may actually make an even bigger issue of it. So they might actually, the listeners might find that it's actually more desirable to get hold of it and listen to it when they wouldn't previously have bothered. So my suggestion to you, if you're going to be an interviewee, is you can't unsay things. So the way to keep things away from the public eye is not to say them in the first place. If you don't want me, a journalist, to tell people something, don't tell me. It is my job to tell people things. The way to ensure that happens is to prepare properly. Actually think about what you're going to say in advance, prepare your messages and make sure you don't stray from them without sounding unnatural. That's a bit of technique that can be difficult to achieve, and if you'd like some help achieving it, then by all means come to me. I will help you with media training sessions. But don't go into things thinking I can always unsay something later or ask them to take it down, and they definitely will. They might not. And if you'd like to talk to me about anything else or any further help with your communications, then please do get in touch with my assistant Nikki, that's Nikki, Nikki, at clapperton.co.uk. Thank you very much. See you next week.